Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to please find your seats and silence cell phones. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the commanding officer, Officer Training Command Newport, welcome to the graduation ceremony for Officer Candidate School, Class 0720, consisting of 76 candidates. Guests are encouraged to take photographs from the viewing area at any time during the ceremony, except for the playing of the national anthem. The order of events for today's ceremony is as follows. At 10:30, Captain Nicholson, United States Navy, Commanding Officer of Officer Training Command Newport, and Commander Francis P. Brown, Deputy Dean of Students, U.S. Naval War College, the guest of honor for today's ceremony, will arrive. Guests will be asked to rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation. The commanding officer and the guest of honor will address the graduating class, and the class will receive the oath of office from the commanding officer. The graduates will then be recognized through the presentation of their commission by the commanding officer and the guest of honor. Guests will be asked to rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Again, allow me to emphasize that you are encouraged to take photographs at any time during the ceremony with the exception of the playing of the national anthem. Officer Training Command Newport, arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Sudfin will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we come to you in prayer as our first and highest duty, offering our grateful praise for your abundant goodness. Make us aware of your presence and be known among us as the author of strength, mercy, and joy. The character of Class 0720 has been established through suffering and toil. They have been tested and found worthy. May this be no transitory state. May they be known while they serve throughout their lives and long after for their consummate integrity. What they have gained in knowledge and physical strength, match for them now in spiritual will to accomplish far greater things in service to the fleet, the nation, and the world. And may they always recall fondly their formative moments on these grounds. Bless each member of this class team by the measure of what they have generously given. Let them be encouraged by the continued success of these new ensigns. Guide us to honor those united in applause today and the many more they represent around the world who were active in the course of events that led to this celebration. Faithfully we offer these prayers to you, O God, our refuge and shield. Bless those who go forth now to stand the watch. May all here gathered find ourselves daily restored, confirmed, strengthened, and established by your mighty hand. In your holy name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Class 0720, ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Mark Nicholson, Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command, Newport.
Admiral Brady, Admiral Harris, captains, colonels, distinguished guests, family members and friends, and most importantly, soon-to-be commissioned ensigns of Class 0720. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'd say they're pretty motivated to graduate this morning. Welcome to Newport in this morning's graduation ceremony. I'd like to start off by formally thanking and recognizing the members of Navy Band Northeast. Teammates, your patriotic music truly inspires us all, and I really appreciate you being here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Navy Band Northeast. It's my sincere honor and privilege to be with all of you this morning, to recognize and celebrate the achievement of these 76 young men and women sitting in front of me, America's very best and brightest, as they are commissioned as the newest ensigns in the United States Navy. For the families, I want to thank you not only for making the long trip to be here this morning, but for the outstanding performance of your sons and daughters, husbands and wives, brothers and sisters. Your love and support have helped produce the quality individuals seated here, enabled our outstanding team of recruit division commanders, drill instructors, and class officers to further develop them morally, mentally, and physically into future leaders of character and competence. On behalf of the Navy and on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your efforts. For Class 0720, profession of naval officers, much like the medical and law professions, requires its members to take an oath. In a few minutes, your parents, spouses, and loved ones, along with the OTC staff and myself, will bear witness as you raise your right hand and swear a sacred oath to support and defend the Constitution. This oath carries far more obligations than privileges. It carries the obligation to serve in the most trusted institution in America. According to Gallup polls that stretch back for more than a decade, the American people trust the military more than any other institution. A list that includes the Supreme Court, Congress, organized religion, police, public schools, our medical system, and our criminal justice system. It is up to you to maintain this trust. As George Washington once stated in an address to the officers of the Virginia Regiment, remember that it is the actions and not the commission that make the officer, and that there is more expected from him or her than the title. As an officer, you will lead and mentor what is truly one of our most valuable national assets, the enlisted men and women of our Navy. The American people are trusting you to care for and lead them in defending our Constitution. I challenge you to maintain and build upon the American people's trust through your actions as a naval officer. I'm extremely proud of the effort you've expended over the past couple of months. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome all of you as naval officers into the wardroom of the world's greatest Navy. I have another honor and privilege this morning, that of introducing our guest speaker, Commander Frank Brown. His full bio can be found in your programs, but I'll hit a few highlights. Commander Brown was commissioned via the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps program at the College of Holy Cross. He holds an MBA from the Naval Postgraduate School and a master's degree in National Security Affairs and Strategic Studies from the Naval War College. He's a human resources officer that has served in numerous roles involving recruiting, training, manpower, and development. Previously, he was the OCS director and executive officer right here at Officer Training Command. Currently, he serves as the Deputy Dean of Students at the Naval War College. And quite honestly, is one of the finest naval officers I have ever served with in my 26 years of naval service. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming this morning's guest speaker, Commander Frank Brown.
Thank you very much, Captain Nicholson. It is an incredible honor and privilege to be back at Officer Training Command to celebrate OCS Class 0720 with you this morning. Given the impressive careers of many of our distinguished guests here today, I must admit to you that I feel a bit underqualified to be the speaker for today's graduation, but I will attempt to equip myself well. I would like to second Captain's appreciation and thank you to the families and friends. In addition to laying the foundation for these fine men and women, you too are making a commitment to the Navy. At times, a service member, in fact, has an easier job in putting on the uniform and going forth focused on the mission at hand, while you, the family and friends, hold everything imaginable together on the home front. Thank you for your commitment, your endurance, and for the love and support you give to our sailors. I certainly know that my wife, mother, and father have as much, if not more, to do with my naval career than anything I have done. To the class team, Lieutenant Maldonado, Lieutenant Boley, Master Chief Damontak, Senior Chief Morrow, and Gunnery Sergeant Chacon, who is on his final class push today, well done. The effort and dedication of Officer Training Command team has always impressed me. Your efforts shine brightly in this fine group of future leaders you've prepared for service in the fleet. Well done. With that said, Class 0720, I'm now going to cause your RDCs and DIs to develop a nervous twitch. During these few minutes, I am authorizing you to unlock in your seats, make some eye contact, nod in approval or dissatisfaction, feel free to make some appropriate facial expressions, and answer any questions that may come your way. You're entrusted to lock it back up afterwards. Undoubtedly, everybody had a solid 8 hours of sleep last night. You're not at all eager to head out on leave or travel to your first duty station as a naval officer, and you're fully engaged to hear an hour-long speech. But I wouldn't dream of doing that to you. These tested and forged candidates technically had a 15 vice 13-week officer candidate school experience with the 2 bonus weeks over the holiday stand-down period, so let's try to get you on your way in short order. I join in your send-off from OCS with a few quick thoughts that came to mind as I pondered what I would write in that fabled letter to me I wish had arrived as I set out on my Navy journey 24 years ago. While the Navy Reserve Officer Training Corps program, my session source, was a bit different from yours, the start of my training was in the same location. In the summer of 1996, I had the pleasure of taking up residence in beautiful King Hall, in the exact same tried and true condition it is today. Learning and practicing drill maneuvers around Nimitz Field, rolling around in goose droppings during morning PT, fine Navy Hall chow, and yes, waking up to the tones of my drill instructor's comforting and reassuring voice was my first Newport experience as well. So we have very common beginnings. Now for me, my outlets to relax and recharge have always been sports and the outdoors. If I can get a fishing line in the water or watch a New York Yankees game, go Yankees, life is good. So in relaying a couple of lessons learned to you this morning, a sports analogy seems a bit fitting. As baseball has always been my favorite, allow me to give you 4 bases to consider. Now candidates, with a show of hands, who among you feel that time management and the lack of enough time was the biggest challenge of OCS? All right, pretty good showing. I'd say about 70% of you. Should you master time management and come back, teach a course, write a book, I'll be one of the first to buy it. For me, the period of 1996 to 2020 went awful fast. So the first base for you this morning is slow it down. Something that sure enough is impossible to do, as we would all trade virtually any sum of money to extend the clock. Well, other than perhaps you candidates during room locker and personnel inspection. But what I would like to relay by slow it down is a little different. Still vivid in my mind are several key instances as an ensign or lieutenant JG when the day's to-do list was in my hand and it held more boxes than I could ever hope to check. As an inexperienced first-time division officer, I plowed through my list in hopes of whittling it down as quickly as possible. What I failed to do on more than one occasion was realize that there were some tasks, or more importantly, some people, in the case of midterm counselings, sailors' evaluations, or simply checking up on the well-being of a shipmate, that deserved a whole heck of a lot more than just being on a list that's whittled down. Fortunately, my first divisional chief fixed me, and he enabled me to get it right going forward. Don't be a leader in need of that fix. Of course, very soon, many if not all of you will be in operational positions that will require you to rely on a split-second decision when you need to trust your training and your gut instinct. That comes with the job. For other decisions that afford time to ask some questions, think about different outcomes and consider another person's perspective, especially in those decisions that involve your sailors. Slow it down. You will gain much more respect by letting someone know you want to take a few extra minutes, a few hours, or in some situations even a few days to think about their issue or question than if you just make a snap decision to check a box and move on. There's absolutely no expectation that you will have the right answers all the time the first time. Give it some thought, and when possible, slow it down. Second base, continue to read, broaden your mind, and challenge your own perspective. Last Thursday, the staff and faculty of the Naval War College had the opportunity to have an interactive session with Mr. John education. The overarching drive and goal of which are to leverage the most significant operational and strategic advantage that we have as a control of our military, the mental capacity of our force. Now more than ever, the quality and mental capacity of our force can be our sustaining strategic advantage. As Mr. Kroger well stressed, our economy and military equipment are no longer the overwhelming advantage that they were at the end of the 20th century. Our mental capacity, if valued and enhanced, can be. What you have under your control right now is the effort to expand your mental capacity with an appetite for reading. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm about to go to nuclear power school, flight school, surface warfare training, or supply officer school, or follow on community-specific requirements, and I'm not going to have time to read. Find opportunities and read anyway. Even if it's only for a couple pages a night, strive to have a book on some form of leadership and development and a book in an area of interest and enjoyment to you, ongoing and parallel. Two of my recent reading endeavors were What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith, a quick read that forecasts how some leadership practices that were successful at lower levels may not translate to success at higher levels, and Lincoln, an in-depth biography of one of our nation's greatest leaders, written by David Donnell. I chose Lincoln because the Civil War period has always been of great interest to me, and the challenges faced by President Lincoln are valuable leadership case studies. Particularly striking was the manner in which President Lincoln built his cabinet and staff. He integrated rivals with vastly different viewpoints into his staff to ensure he could obtain advice from every different perspective. Continue to read, broaden your mind, challenge your own perspective. Third base, words matter. Again, an interactive part here. By a show of hands, who among you is confident in your public speaking ability? Okay, that's about what I expected. A few less hands, I'd say 30%. Not surprising, as public speaking is one of mankind's greatest fears. But the ability to communicate effectively and efficiently is vital for success as a naval officer. Regardless of your comfort level when speaking in front of an audience, you need to improve at every opportunity. Should it be describing your experiences at OCS to a group of prospective candidates while on hometown area recruiting orders, speaking at a Memorial Day ceremony, or giving an operations brief, each and every opportunity should be embraced and used to grow and develop. Think hard about what you will say when you have the opportunity to address your first division you are entrusted to lead. You only get that one chance to make that positive first impression. What message are you trying to get across? What do you need your sailors to accomplish? What do they need from you as their leader? Think it through, practice your message, and deliver. As a product of this humbling OCS experience, there should now be far more we and us in your vocabulary than me and I. And remember, less is more. If your voice is heard incessantly, people will numb to your words. I once received some very sage advice that a leader should spend 90 to 95% of their time listening and gathering information, and only 5 to 10% projecting accurate, concise guidance. A naval officer's words should carry weight. Words matter. Well, we've rounded the bases and reached home. Home base. Be tough. Our former Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Richardson, provided us with 4 core attributes for naval leaders, and our current CNO, Admiral Gilday, reemphasized them in his first message to the fleet in August. Bringing my own slight variation to the definitions, we have integrity. Do the right thing even when no one is looking. Accountability. Own your words, own your actions. Initiative. Be the one to step forward. Create great ways to accomplish the mission. And lastly, toughness. Stand tall in the storm. Whether the challenge be mental or physical in nature, a naval officer needs to be the example of toughness. In order to even have the capability to be tough, however, you need to take care of yourself. Personally, I'll admit to you that my biggest challenges as a naval officer came at a time when I did not maintain enough balance of exercise, sleep, and a healthy diet to be truly effective. I say enough because, as you have quite well learned here at Newport, there will rarely be time when you have the desired amount of all 3 components. The key is to know your body and take preventive measures when you are heading off track. We can commit an extremely high number of hours to our duties and responsibilities, and don't get me wrong, there will absolutely be times that require long hours, but if we do it at the expense of being healthy, we ultimately will not be able to maintain our toughness. If we are rattled, flustered, we look or act tired, those around us sure enough will follow suit. Your sailors, your peers, and even perhaps your seniors need to be able to look to you in a crisis and see someone they can trust, believe in, and follow because you are tough. OCS Class 0720, you have established a foundation in hard work, self-restraint, and discipline as a result of your training here at Officer Candidate School. Revisit that foundation continuously during your career, and you will be on solid footing. And if the next time you're watching a baseball game, even one of these 4 bases come to mind, I'll call that a win. I wish you fair winds in following C's Class 0720, and when the winds are not fair and the C's are not following, be tough and lead.
The graduating class will now receive the oath of office. Would all military personnel in uniform please come to the position of attention?
Class 0720, left hand, up.
Class 0720, raise your right hand.
Repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Captain Miller,
Have been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy.
having been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy,
Do hereby accept such appointment.
do hereby accept such appointment,
And do solemnly swear
and do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Class 0720, ready, eat. Left, face.
The graduates assembled will now be recognized by the commanding officer and guest of honor for their achievements while undergoing training here at Officer Training Command Newport. Ensign Alexio. Ensign Alexio has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Alexio is a graduate of Texas A&M University. Ensign Hurst. Ensign Hurst has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Vila Gulf CG-72 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Hurst is a graduate of Eastern Kentucky University. Ensign Anderson. Ensign Anderson has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Tripoli LHA-7 in San Diego, California. Ensign Anderson is a graduate of University of Nevada, Reno. Ensign Burkhart. Ensign Burkhart has been designated as a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Pinckney DDG-91 in San Diego, California. Ensign Burkhart is a graduate of Carson Newman University. Ensign Carandang. Ensign Carandang has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Carandang is a graduate of the University of California, Davis. Ensign Korath. Ensign Korath has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Pearl Harbor LSD-52 in San Diego, California. Ensign Korath is a graduate of Seton Hall University. Ensign Cozart. Ensign Cozart has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Thomas Hudner DDG-116 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Cozart is a graduate of Argosy College. Ensign Dillon. Ensign Dillon has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS O'Kane DDG-77 in San Diego, California. Ensign Dillon is a graduate of Corbin University. Ensign Drake. Ensign Drake has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Drake is a graduate of Southern Arkansas University. Ensign Klostermeyer. Ensign Klostermeyer has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Klostermeyer is a graduate of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Ensign Conyer. Ensign Conyer has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Iwo Jima LHD-7 in Mayport, Florida. Ensign Conyer is a graduate of St. Joseph's College, New York. Ensign Lawrence. Ensign Lawrence has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Lawrence is a graduate of Ithaca College. Ensign Leongson. Ensign Leongson has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Princeton CG-59 in San Diego, California. Ensign Leongson is a graduate of the University of Connecticut. Ensign Merkel. Ensign Merkel has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Merkel is a graduate of Fordham University. Ensign Milazzo. Ensign Milazzo has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Macon Island, LHD-8 in San Diego, California. Ensign Milazzo is a graduate of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Ensign Napa. Ensign Napa has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Napa is a graduate of California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Ensign Navarro. Ensign Navarro has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Navarro is a graduate of Saginaw Valley State University. Ensign Wynn. Ensign Wynn has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Wynn is a graduate of Liberty University. Ensign Wynn. Ensign Wynn has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Mitchell DDG-57 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Wynn is a graduate of ECPI University in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Nimji. Ensign Nimji has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Nimji is a graduate of Texas A&M University. Ensign Norris. Ensign Norris has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Norris is a graduate of University of Connecticut Storrs. Ensign Peterson. Ensign Peterson has been designated a nuclear surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Barry DDG-52 in Yokosuka, Japan. Ensign Peterson is a graduate of the University of Vermont. Ensign Ramirez. Ensign Ramirez has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Ramirez is a graduate of California State University, Chico. Ensign Ramsey. Ensign Ramsey has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Shoup DDG-86 in San Diego, California. Ensign Ramsey is a graduate of Linfield College. Ensign Robledo. Ensign Robledo has been designated a Special Warfare Officer, SEAL, and will be assigned to Naval Special Warfare Group 2 in Little Creek, Virginia. Ensign Robledo is a graduate of the University of Charleston, West Virginia. Ensign Robledo is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Rodriguez. Ensign Rodriguez has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Rodriguez is a graduate of the University of Buffalo. Ensign Shimizu. Ensign Shimizu has been designated an information professional officer and will be assigned to the Information Warfare Training Command in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Shimizu is a graduate of University of Washington, Seattle. Ensign Shugro. Ensign Shugro has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Shugro is a graduate of California State University, Chico. Ensign Scowrun. Ensign Scowrun has been designated an information professional officer and will be assigned to the Information Warfare Training Command in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Scowrun is a graduate of Fordham University. Ensign Scowrun is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Skripek. Ensign Skripek has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Skripek is a graduate of DePaul University. Ensign Skripek is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Sullivan. Ensign Sullivan has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Sullivan is a graduate of Syracuse University, New York. Ensign Taylor. Ensign Taylor has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Taylor is a graduate of Texas Tech University. Ensign Trent. Ensign Trent has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to Information Warfare School in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Trent is a graduate of Bryant College. Ensign Weidman. Ensign Weidman has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Tripoli, LHA-7 in San Diego, California. Ensign Weidman is a graduate of Washington and Jefferson College. Ensign Calhoun. Ensign Calhoun has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Arlington, LPD-24 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Calhoun is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Brady. Ensign Brady has been designated an officer in training for special warfare qualification and will be assigned to basic underwater demolition SEAL training in Coronado, California. Ensign Brady is a graduate of the University of Florida. Ensign Brady is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Mitchell. Ensign Mitchell has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Mobile Bay, CG-67 in San Diego, California. Ensign Mitchell is a graduate of National University. Ensign Stile. Ensign Stile has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS San Jacinto, CG-56 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Stile is a graduate of the University of South Carolina, Beaufort. Ensign Ubry. Ensign Ubry has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Jason Dunham, DDG-109 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Ubry is a graduate of the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. Ensign Humphreys. Ensign Humphreys has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Donald Cook, DDG-75 in Rota, Spain. Ensign Humphreys is a graduate of the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Ensign Nallon. Ensign Nallon has been designated a surface warfare officer and has been assigned to USS Fort McHenry, LSD-43 in Mayport, Florida. Ensign Nallon is a graduate of the University of South Carolina. Ensign Bowman. Ensign Bowman has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Blue Ridge, LCC-19 in Yokosuka, Japan. Ensign Bowman is a graduate of Temple University. Ensign Bible. Ensign Bible has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and has been assigned to USS Fort McHenry, LSD-43 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Bible is a graduate of West Virginia Wesleyan College. Ensign Boxmeyer. Ensign Boxmeyer has been designated a Nuclear Submarine Officer and will be assigned to the Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Boxmeyer is a graduate of University of Alabama in Huntsville. Ensign Brzmakowicz. Ensign Brzmakowicz has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Brzmakowicz is a graduate of Texas Tech University. Ensign Burns. Ensign Burns has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Burns is a graduate of Missouri University of Science and Technology. Ensign Chow. Ensign Chow has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and has been assigned to USS Stetham, DDG-63 in San Diego, California. Ensign Chow is a graduate of California State University, Fullerton. Ensign Cunningham. Ensign Cunningham has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to USS Port Royal, CG-73 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Cunningham is a graduate of Temple University. Ensign Curtis. Ensign Curtis has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to USS Paul Ignatius, DDG-117 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Curtis is a graduate of George Mason University. Ensign Dowdy. Ensign Dowdy has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to USS Ashland, LSD-48 in Sasebo, Japan. Ensign Dowdy is a graduate of Georgetown University. Ensign Galari. Ensign Galari has been designated an Intelligence Officer and will be assigned to Information Warfare School in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Galari is a graduate of the University of Exeter. Ensign Guidon. Ensign Guidon has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and has been assigned to USS Kidd, DDG-100 in Everett, Washington. Ensign Guidon is a graduate of the University of Akron. Ensign Harris. Ensign Harris has been designated a Student Naval Flight Officer and has been assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Harris is a graduate of Excelsior College. Ensign Hesse. Ensign Hesse has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Hesse is a graduate of the University of Mississippi. Ensign Holt. Ensign Holt has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Holt is a graduate of the University of Alabama. Ensign King. Ensign King has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign King is a graduate of North Carolina Wesleyan College. Ensign Kobolansky. Ensign Kobolansky has been designated a Student Naval Flight Officer and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Kobolansky is a graduate of Virginia Commonwealth University. Ensign Large. Ensign Large has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Large is a graduate of North Dakota State University. Ensign Leahy. Ensign Leahy has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Leahy is a graduate of the University of California, Davis. Ensign Munkowitz. Ensign Munkowitz has been designated a Student Naval Flight Officer and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Munkowitz is a graduate of the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Ensign Murray. Ensign Murray has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to USS Momsen, DDG-92 in Everett, Washington. Ensign Murray is a graduate of the University of California, Davis. Ensign Nadolski. Ensign Nadolski has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to USS San Diego, LPD-22 in San Diego, California. Ensign Nadolski is a graduate of the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Ensign Palestri. Ensign Palestri has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Palestri is a graduate of Arizona State University. Ensign Palestri is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Price. Ensign Price has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Price is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Price is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Reese. Ensign Reese has been designated a Student Naval Flight Officer and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Reese is a graduate of the University of South Carolina, upstate. Ensign Richardson. Ensign Richardson has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Richardson is a graduate of Franklin and Marshall College. Ensign Richardson is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Roberge. Ensign Roberge has been designated an officer in training for special warfare qualification and will be assigned to basic underwater demolition SEAL training in Coronado, California. Ensign Roberge is a graduate of Ave Maria University. Ensign Schmidt. Ensign Schmidt has been designated a nuclear submarine officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Schmidt is a graduate of the University of Delaware. Ensign Simpson. Ensign Simpson has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Simpson is a graduate of the University of California, San Diego. Ensign Simpson is a distinguished naval graduate. Ensign Stupelman. Ensign Stupelman has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to USS Mahan, DDG-72 in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Stupelman is a graduate of Liberty University. Ensign Swabeck. Ensign Swabeck has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Swabeck is a graduate of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Ensign Thier. Ensign Thier has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Thier is a graduate of Arizona State University. Ensign Tracy. Ensign Tracy has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to Naval Supply School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Tracy is a graduate of Michigan State University. Ensign Whitebrock. Ensign Whitebrock has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Whitebrock is a graduate of Mississippi State University. Ensign Whitecoe. Ensign Whitecoe has been designated a Supply Corps officer and will be assigned to Naval Supply School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Whitecoe is a graduate of Washington State University. Ensign Zapata. Ensign Zapata has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Zapata is a graduate of Texas Southern University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing the United States Navy's newest ensigns. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Please remain in your places until after the graduating class has taken their class photo. On behalf of the commanding officer, Officer Training Command Newport, thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony.